Hi, it's Eric from EJ Cigar Box Guitars. What I got here is a little amplifier. You can see it there. So what you got here is your input jack. Starting over next to the LED, you've got a power switch. You have a tone knob, a volume knob, and a gain knob. On the side, you have a headphone jack and a DC plug if you want to run it off power. And in the back, you have a 9-volt battery. So it's a nice little travel amp. A little bigger. I think it's a little louder than the Honeytone one I've used in the past. As I've said in videos before, I like having amplifiers that anybody can afford. And stuff like this, I mean, you can pick it up at a local music store for like $50 in the neighborhood of that. So we'll try it out. So the gain is all the way down, volume's all the way up. So it's not that loud, but if you start turning up the gain, so put the gain as high as it goes. So obviously, it's a small little amp. It's running on a 9-volt, so it doesn't go super loud. But it's designed to be a practice amp. You know, you want to go to the park, you can bring it with you, and you can hear your music that you're putting out. One of the previous videos, someone asked me what it is I was playing. So, it's a simple chord progression. Quite a few songs use it. You've got G, D, E minor, C. Then I go G, D, and then C. So it's really simple. Obviously G is your open chord. Because most guitars I do, I tune to G, D, G. There's a couple I've done where I went to open E tuning, but that's pretty rare. Any music book you buy on the market is going to be written for the open G tuning. So that's why I tune all my guitars that way. So if you buy one, it's tuned to match those books. So it's less confusion to you if you don't know music theory or how to transpose. So your open G, the D is 202, E minor is 420, and then your C is 555. So this is a nice little inexpensive amp for someone to pick up. Same idea as a cigar box amp. You know, they're inexpensive, easy to transport. You can hear your own music, you know, what's coming out of the guitar. That's their only purpose, really. You know, it's not going to go very loud. You know, you're not going to be rocking a bar or a fairground with it. nice and small to transport. This one here, you could use it similar to like a mixer. You take your headphone jack there, that is a 1/4 inch jack, and you could go out to a PA system with this and use the gain and tone control, using it as a pedal type thing. The Honeytone one, its headphone jack was an 1/8 inch, which is a normal headphone. So I mean, with an adapter, you could put that out to a PA system as well. Comparing this to a Honeytone, I like this one better, but a Honeytone is slightly smaller and it has a belt clip, so you can just wear it on your belt. So if you want to walk around while you play, like if you're busking, but again, they don't go super loud. So I don't know if you want to use them for busking necessarily. Around here where I am, you don't get many buskers. That's more of a real big city. Even London, I've never seen anyone busking in London. So I don't know where around here you may do that. But the purpose of this video was to show this little amplifier. It's cute, it's inexpensive. You get what you pay for. You know, for a $50 amp, it's not bad. But again, you know, you're not going to be rocking out a park or a bar with it, and no one's going to hear you. This one's been around for a while. This is my own personal. Originally, it was a CB Giddy kit. Any of their kits, I scrap their strings. You know, those are the cheapest of the cheap strings you can get. So I always use electric guitar strings. They're the same strings that you would buy to put on a Strat or a Tele or a Gibson. The kit was designed to be strictly acoustic. Obviously, I changed that. You got your output jack right here. I put in a preamp. I don't know if you can see the light. But preamps, they have 4 controls. Volume, a preamp requires a 9-volt battery. There's a P90. So obviously I made this into an electric guitar, even though CB Giddy sells it as an acoustic guitar. I've done 2 of these, identical. The only difference was the tire tracks were slightly different. On the other one, it sold rather quickly. This one I did and kept them for myself. I had taken out the screws, and I put in walnut fret dot markers. So this is not plugged in here. I think it puts out a reasonable amount of volume, but I like it a lot better that I can plug it in. And it's not that hard. Anyone that gets a kit like that, if you want to make it electric, a preamp is probably the simplest way. All you have to do is put a rectangle hole for it to be able to go into. Don't go too big, otherwise you got nowhere for the screws to go into. And then in the neck, you have to make a trench roughly under your bridge. Obviously the bridge isn't going to be touching directly to the neck, but on the neck you make a trench, and you'll want to hot glue the rod piezo in. It's nice and simple. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of know-how to do one of these kits. You got to glue them. They want you to glue the lid down. Obviously, I don't glue lids down. Anyone that builds these knows gluing a lid down can be a big mistake. So I glued blocks into the corners and I screwed the lid down. So you could do just a preamp. I chose to do a preamp and a P90. So, as I've said before, all my guitars are for sale at We Got Creative in the Elgin Mall here in St. Thomas, Ontario. I have a Facebook page, I have Instagram, so if there's something you want to know if it's still available, shoot me a message. If you want something built custom, shoot me a message. And if you live relatively close and want it delivered, I can do that. If you're outside that area, you want it shipped, I can do that. Obviously, there'll be a shipping charge. I can ship anywhere in the world. I know there's a lot of people that refuse to ship by just outside their own country. I can ship anywhere in the world. Everything I do has some kind of a pickup. Could be a preamp, it could be a piezo, P90, single coil, humbucker. It's all about what kind of sound you want. So stuff like that is best if you can come to the store and you can try out the guitars. There's an amplifier there, so you can plug in any of the guitars, hear what they sound like, hear the differences, and then make a decision. You might only care about looks. Maybe you don't care much on the sound. Especially if you're just going to hang it up on the wall, you probably don't care what kind of pickup it has. But everything I do has a pickup. Just because you don't want a pickup today doesn't mean you don't want one tomorrow. I mean, you don't want to have to bring it back. I gotta open it back up, now put a pickup in. If we just put one in the first place, we wouldn't have that issue. So, I mean, you can always put in a piezo, and you're not gonna see the piezo. You can wire it so there's no volume knob, go straight to the jack, no one's gonna see it. But down the road, you decide to plug it in one day, the jack's there, you just plug it in, you're good to go. So like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Catch you later.